NBNN, poof, blows your freaking mind.
Welcome to Lunch with Laz and Jack. I am Jack, and
this is Laz. How's everybody doing today?
that is a great intro from Led Zepp.
Yeah, the folks on the radio did not hear that, though.
Oh, that's unfortunate that they missed that one, because that was a great intro. And guys, don't forget, we are live on in-game on the Ether Amplifier on Radio Free Britannia, then also on WRFB-DB. If you go to radiofreebritannia.com, you can listen to us there. We are also streaming live on Twitch and on YouTube right now.
As well as ndnn.info, where all your information
Yes.
happens.
So we are live in all of those places. Yeah, it's working for me. I just forgot to open up Chatty today, so I had to go find it in my start menu.
And we got Zeke Cooper joining us today. How you doing today, Zeke? And Casey's just coming in. Casey Cupcakes.
Welcome, guys.
Right. Started with
John Silverfoot should be here pretty soon.
I saw him over there. I tried to say hello to him. He popped in looking for you. I actually mentioned him to Jack. I said, Sean's over there. Maybe we should grab him. What's he up to?
Not a whole lot. He and I were talking about the delay that Fort Larium is going to be doing with Shroud, and we're totally 100% behind it. I think they should have a game come out that has the wow factor as soon as you come into it. And if they need more time to fine-tune this game before release, that's exactly what we're supporting.
Absolutely.
What delay are you talking about specifically, Zeke?
Yeah, you got to kill your game audio behind you there. You're killing this feed.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, what exactly is it you're talking about? This is something even Jack and I don't have our hands in, and usually we are right on top of this.
Well, they had made the announcement. Well, there was a hint when Richard was doing an interview with you that, and as we all are, we're going the dynamics and how they're programming and everything, and we have all speculated on when release date was going to be.
Absolutely.
And here over the last week, last week, and as a matter of fact, I had been visiting the different guilds, Pax Lair, Fort Phoenix, Avatar Circle, and I had spoke with several people there in those guilds, and it is becoming a more and more general consensus that the release date is being pushed. We may, and you guys may already know this, but we were just having general discussion on whether or not we supported it, even if it, and my opinion of it is that I don't care if it takes another year for them to fine tune it. And
yeah, okay, I got you.
Okay, yeah, so y'all weren't discussing anything in specific. I will tell you that at the last Austin player gathering, where Richard did show up, as well as a few other people like Scotty and also our favorite character animator, he was also there, or character artist. But that's one where I just, since they had, during the, not this last postmortem, but the one before that, the release 23 postmortem, they had said that they actually had started putting their date for alpha on a whiteboard in their conference room. In the office. So they already have a planned time to go to alpha. And then that's where release 24 became, you know what? We've got this punch list right here, and these things we can do right now. Let's go ahead and do them instead of doing the polish and performance. So they already have an idea of when they're going to alpha, and at that Austin Players Gathering, I had actually spoken with Richard, and I threw out my theory of when the game was going to go live, and he says that I was being overly aggressive.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. I was estimating like March, April-ish.
Right.
So
I'm shooting from my original.
June, July.
Going back and forth on it. I was hoping for end of release 1 and an announcement. It's their the big one in Austin happening.
South by Southwest is in March, though.
By Southwest. Yeah, I was expecting and hoping for an announcement that we were gonna go.
Your mic cut out.
But sorry about that. But I'm going with my original speculation that. One second, let me calculate.
I think you're going to end up probably July.
With July, yes.
It- now,
Slipping there, Laz?
yeah, it is. He's getting old.
What was that?
See, his hearing's going as well.
It is. I had to sit down and actually count it on my fingers how many months I had to go. Okay. And ERS shit syndrome, man. I can't remember shit sometimes. And you know, we've got a lot of shit to cover. I mean, I love this shit, but we cover a whole bunch of it here, and we've got a whole bunch to cover today. So.
Now, this is something that everybody else has to remember, that we are not really that special. We just read a lot into what is posted on the official forums, and we pay attention. I happen to live in Austin, so the Austin Player Gathering, we do occasionally get special guests, but by no means is it something where we have undue sway with the developers at all.
Nobody emails going, shh, don't tell anybody. Or, hey,
Yeah, no.
people know about this. No, there's none of that going on. We read everything. We talk to these folks. We email. And we try and get as much information as we can get for the...
That is correct. I mean, I wish that the stand-up corner was updated right now, but it is not. Let's see if Chaos
He was working.
is online. Yeah, that's what he always says.
Well, I actually saw he was working on it, but they had the stand-ups as well.
So you went by the office this morning, Casey?
Yeah, I brought Rustic up there.
Okay.
Rustic took a trip up to the offices this morning. And, of course, that's another cause of the Austin Players meeting, the folks that we have in the game who are investors, who are players, who are active in development here. These guys are in and out of the offices, so yes, we do interact with these folks. But again, doesn't mean you can't do it also. Doesn't make anybody special. These guys just happen to live right there.
And you all have a special opportunity coming up, which I'll be posting about today.
I was gonna tell him about that later in the Festivus Bowl.
Okay, so what do we want to start with here? Remember, we've got about 15 minutes here.
Well,
A whole bunch of stuff from the weekend covered. Do we want to do the last couple stand-ups that haven't been posted?
yeah, we do have the Friday stand-up that was posted. We do not have today's stand-up, so we can go ahead and talk about that.
Hey, Casey, why don't you poke them in the forums? Go ahead.
Yeah, so
Maybe we can get them poking, pushing this out before the show every day. We know Chaos is
yep.
busy doing his other things. We understand that.
So probably in December we're going to have something new on the add-on store, and that's going to be snowmen, because Bob Cooksey is working on fancy snow people, and you know what that means. More add-on store items, so make sure you can buy some more rares. Hopefully they're in the $5 price range, so that way I can afford it.
I'm telling you, I hope so.
Yeah. The last statues at $20 each. Ooh.
I'm selling snowballs at my vendors to make gold in game. I'm telling you.
Yep. Brian Wilson is working on encumbrance movement animations, so I guess he's trying to actually make us hunch our backs and slow down a little bit. Jeff Mellon's still working on the demon. Kevin Wells is working on cats and dyeable clothes. Matt Schmitz is working in Demon Animations and Rigging. And Scott Jones is working on Hilt Fortress Arena and Spider Chamber and Endless Crypts. Now, one of the animations that they're actually working on with the cat animations is the cat licking its paw.
Cleaning itself.
Yes, so cleaning its paws. So, which I think is actually kind of cool that they get to sit there and watch cat animations or cat videos for a few days just to figure out how to make it look right. Now, in the design corner, let's see, we've got Brandon Cotton working on Release 25 recipes and gems and dyes and Undead Resurrection. Now, remember, in Release 25, we're going to have a change in Undead Resurrection. In order for the Undead to actually rise, there must be a Skeleton Mage or a Lich Mage in the area in order to cast Resurrection. Otherwise, you kill them once and they will stay dead unless, remember, the mage is in the area.
Now, it's my understanding that if they were killed with undead magics, they cannot be resurrected. Did I understand that correctly?
If they're killed with banish undead, they cannot be resurrected.
Okay. Okay. So yes, the using the spell, they will not be resurrected. I just wanted to make sure I got that straight.
Yeah. So banish undead was the only surefire way to kill them the first time around already. So now they're making it also so that way they can't be resurrected. Let's see, where was I? So Dan Brennan is world building training and map hookups and harvest nodes. So Finn Staber's working on resurrection and skills. Gina Dion is working on community and hang-up follow-up and 1B audits and customer service. Keith Quinn is world building training and bugs and South Verdantis gameplay. And then Casey joined us again for a second time. Richard Mady's working in Kiln with buildings and vegetation. Scott Jennings has released 25 tasks and character creation mulligans and trainer quests, which is actually a good thing because that means that they're revamping that introductory scene. And maybe they're also going to actually include some of the quest stuff. So some of the things that we've talked about beforehand, in that introductory scene, how it would be the perfect place for like introduce players on.
Dialogue.
Yes, more dialogue, introduce into the game systems. Yes, and so the character mulligans would be like, I don't like my answer for that one. Let me change it.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, and the trainer quests there are the advanced level spells like the Summon Lich spell, where they're going to make you do a quest in order to learn that. That's the tier 5 spells. Steve Saldivar.
Skill trainers and stuff.
Yes, skill trainers, yes. And eventually what they're going to do is they're actually going to make it so that way certain skill trainers will only train up to a certain tier, and then you have to go find a specialist. So that's something else coming down the pipe.
I'm waiting for that. Make things a little bit more interesting.
Well, yeah.
I hope you'd figured out by now why I'm signed in twice, just as I was yesterday.
Well, you've got a special guest with you that you don't want us to know who it is yet.
It's Rustic again.
Oh, it's Rustic.
Lazarus and Jen, so just know that.
Oh, well, I had to tell Jen that Rustic thought we were married.
Well, I thought you were married, at least to somebody, the first few times we met, so...
Okay, yeah.
I thought you were talking about we were married. What are you talking about?
I love you too, baby.
Well, after Genesis interview, he did say I love you.
Oh, we do that every day on the show.
Oh, yeah.
If you listen to the show, you'll know that every day is we do the I love you. Okay. Love you too. Goodbye. On sign off.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I just approved his registration, and then he said that, and then I went and unapproved his registration.
Okay.
it's okay. The check is in the mail.
I got you. How you doing, Russ? Thanks for joining us again today.
I'm doing well. It's good to be here.
We got your little video I don't.
Oh, you cut out.
No, you
Talking
cut
about
out.
this video.
But I did. I worked it out with him. We're gonna upload it to his site and then get you the link.
But we got some of the audio, but we'd love to get you talking a little bit more about that as we go through the show here today. Of course, Hot Lot 3 is what we're talking about, hosted by Rustic Dragon.
It's what I do.
Yes, it is. You want to talk about the ultimate geek for Ultima and all things Ultima related? Rustic Dragon is your man. By the way, do you guys know that Shradix is up for sale? Not just the domain, but the whole kit and caboodle is up for auction. Did you guys know that?
I heard about that. I personally don't have a vested interest in it, but I'm very, very curious to see what happens with it.
I'm curious for several things. Of course, there's a chance for the company who bought UO from EA Games to actually pick it up themselves and take it under their own wing. There's a chance for somebody like yourself or myself to go ahead and go, let's keep this thing going forever and ever perpetually. I'm thinking there's a chance for somebody to pick it up and start incorporating Shroud even more into Stratix, even though I know there has been some incorporation, but not a whole lot. I just thought it was interesting timing, just to see somebody wanting to give that up. I mean, they're saying it's a profitable venture still. I don't know why you would give that up, but maybe they just don't have the time anymore. Anyway, moving on. Did we finish this whole, need to cover a couple more items there. Don't everybody talk at once here, or are you guys not hearing me again?
No, I heard you.
I hear what I want to hear.
I was just reading Shane Membrane's website.
Why would you do that?
But I read them. I was reading the article on the departure of Blake Blackstone. Interesting commentary, but I'm not going to go into that here either. We got weekend data. Update of the Avatar out there this Friday. I'm trying to find that on my browser. A million tabs open just like Jack.
1,000,001.
1,000,001, that's right. I had it open. I don't know where it went.
What are you looking for? See, because we still haven't finished the stand-up corner from Friday.
That's what I just asked you, and nobody gave me an answer.
Okay. Well, you changed it to the weekly update, which is completely different.
Well, you didn't say anything, so I was moving on. I figured if I lost the
Okay. Okay. So let's quickly finish the stand-up corner from last Friday. I forgot where I was at. As far as tech, Eric is working on player towns and taming, so hopefully he's changing some of the way that player towns are done with the entrance points and exit points, and allowing player-owned town owners to actually choose where to place those.
Yeah, we got a comment on that from the postmortem.
Yeah, for a couple of different options. So maybe that's what he's working on. Jason Yenowine's working on gentrification and guild warfare. Joaquin's also working on guild warfare. Justin Gilbert's working on bugs and the radio refractor. Ken File is working on rent. I don't want to pay rent in-game. Miscellaneous tasks and live build patch. There was a patch over the weekend. Tassilo is working on the account page refractor and robot maintenance and Black Friday coupons. Zach Shepard was working on agriculture. Maybe in Release 25 we'll see some crops other than pumpkins.
I've been told that we're going to see the first iteration of harvesting and that in 25.
Yeah.
Apple trees, at least apple trees.
Yep. Our QA guys are working on the same stuff, regression point of interest and bug forms point of interest documentation and AI agro tests. Reese is doing the forms regression and playtesting and sanity testing. Our production management and other guys are Chris is working on Jira cleanup, release 24 postmortem hangout, and IRC chat with player. That was from Thursday. I guess he was confused on what day it was. Then they had some board meetings. Statue decorations and update support. Those statues that we just saw in the add-on store on Friday. So let's see. That's pretty much about it for that. So let's go back to weekend update.
Yes, okay. Let's get back to the weekend update.
Update of the Avatar number 154.
Now, this is something I've definitely been looking forward to.
The City of Airy.
The City of Airy, that's right. I live out on the Long Fall Peninsula there. Although I call it an island. It's listed as a peninsula. I guess it could be both. It can't be both, can it? It's surrounded by water. It's an island.
Yeah, surrounded by water is an island. If there's a little bit of land connecting to it, it's a peninsula.
There's only 3 sides of water. It's peninsula.
Yep.
There's no way to physically walk over the land to get to the other side, so it's a bridge over water, so I'm calling it an island.
Now, I'm sorry to say, but it's like maybe I'd like the Airy template for my city. For
I would like that.
yeah, because it is looking phenomenal with the screenshots that are included.
Making of Airy. Of course, the basis for the City of Airy. Again, taking something out of real life and making it into the game. And what they've done is the inspiration for Airy comes from chatting with Richard and the devs about strategic and geographical importance of coastal cities. Now, I love the fact that they give this so much thought. The amount of thought that these guys put into make from, well, we got to do this because we have to make maps square. Never would come to anybody else's mind. They have to do certain things just to keep other things from being. But I like the fact that we're talking about strategic, geographical play into the game. Is that going to be playing into the game through war? Is it going to be playing into the game through economy? Is it going to be playing through the game as social class? All of the above?
Well, remember, one of the things that Richard talked about a long time ago, so I don't know whether or not this is still going to be in their current line of thinking, was NPC city sieges. So NPC cities would possibly be sieged in game. So that's where things would actually be of strategic significance.
True. And yes, I do believe it's a planned thing to still come on in and do that. So, I mean, we're not going to see that immediately. But I just love, I mean, the castle is just absolutely fantastic picture. And that just makes me think of how big it is. Now, I'm showing this on the screen. Which slide are you showing right now there?
I'm looking at them all. Right now, I'm actually looking at the mock-up for the location of plots. Yeah, but I would love to be able to build my castle walls like that, and then play around with it.
And we're going to be able to actually build them and put them inside of our own cities, our own towns as well. A lot of this is still yet to come, but it's coming.
It's coming. So, I mean, but this is actually really cool because if you actually look out further, since I'm looking at the overhead of the town, you can see where the more city-sized plots are all the way further to the right, although it does look like there is a keep plot or even another second castle plot behind the first the castle area.
Yes, yes.
So there will be 2 castles, it looks like, and then a keep plot, a bunch of city plots, and town plots, and then lots of village-sized plots, and then some row houses in there. So it looks like he's got a variety of housing inside of the city of Erie, so that is actually really cool.
I'm really digging the port and how the port is curved with several different docks and down and bottom there. You really don't get a good shot of it, but I like what they did with it.
Oh, yeah. Now, last week you were bitching about a lack of an asset pack being delivered to Dev Plus. Your complaint has been answered, and now what?
Forget about the lack of an asset pack. They went one step above, and they've listed for
Every single one of the asset packs that are actually available. So if you are a Dev Plus member and above, feel free to download all of those asset packs and then play around with Unity. Remember, Unity is a free download. You can just download it from Unity. I don't even...
They're watching our show, and they're just busting our balls.
Well, they have admitted that they do occasionally listen to this. So, yeah.
Fordham was just funny last week. Everything we was, and they asked a lot of the questions that we joked about that we didn't think were going to get asked. It was too funny.
Yeah.
If those guys just wanted to get a laugh at us by going, "Oh, you don't think we're going to ask that question?" Well, here you go.
Yeah. Then we do have Lum is making a request for NPC submissions for the trading post of Kiln. He needs 3 guards, 1 innkeeper, bartender, 2 to 4 travelers, 3 merchants, and he does request that you private message him via the forum with that information. So NPCs for Kiln must be human, so please remember that. Send in that request, private message to Lum on the forums, and hopefully you'll get in game. He will respond with yay or nay. And then comes Rustic Dragon's time to talk more about Lifeblood of the Hearth.
The Hearth of Britannia, Hobloth 3.
Oh god.
Hobloth?
Hobloth. What is Hobloth?
Blah blah.
Blah blah blah. No, Hobloth, not blah blah.
Butt plug?
Hey, now.
Wait, hold on. This actually...
Just a minute.
Hey, speaking of plugs, last night, so since Sienna Thorne was messaging me, and she said that she was extremely nervous about the interview, I told her that my interview was that Rustic Dragon requested that I lick my nipples on Skype.
And can we just say publicly for the record that that's not true?
That is not true, but I was messing with her, and I was like, "Yay, man boobs!"
And if it gets out as true, it was Jack Frost.
No, that was Casey. Casey Cupcakes.
Because while I'm all for teasing people, playfully, I definitely want to state publicly that no, I am not hazing people.
Although I did tell her it's okay for her to be nervous, since I had gone ahead and spoken to him about her and gave him a good 30-minute warning.
Are you warning him about her? Her about him?
Him about her, absolutely.
My goodness.
Oh, she's awesome. What are you talking about? I mean, as it is, someone already thought we were married.
Don't worry, I warned him about Lazarus Long as well.
That clopping reindeer that just came through with that.
Yes, I did not see who it was. So,
It was either.
anything else that you want to tell us about Legends of the Hearth this week? I know you are conducting more interviews this week. How many slots do you have available still?
Sure, great questions. Legends of the Hearth was November 15th, 2014. It's over.
Whoops. Sorry. Lifeblood of the Hearth.
I'm being completely
We do have a
specific
picture
just
of
for the
Legend.
silliness. But yeah. So this year's event, or I guess next year's event, is Lifeblood of the Hearth. But that's a good question. So let me look. All right. So there are 5 confirmed attendees at this point, which means 5 people have gone through the registration process and actually paid, and I have their registration fees, and they are showing up on the website. That means that technically 95 spots are remaining, but there are 55 people that have applied that I'm waiting for a chance to either interview, or I'm waiting for them to pay if they've been approved. So that being said, we're looking at 40 slots remaining if you assume that everyone who's applied is going to be confirmed.
And you're still paying for mine, right, Laz?
Yes, I love you.
What you talking about, Willis?
I had to. Sorry.
Can't you get a sugar daddy locally there? You gotta go all the way to Florida.
Yeah, guys, don't forget Lifeblood of the Hearth is a 5-day, 4-night live-action roleplay event in the mythos of both Ultima and Shroud of the Avatar, and it takes place on Richard Garriott's property. It is known as Castleton. It is 65 acres. It is on Ladybird Lake in Austin, just around the corner from the 360 bridge. I forget the actual name of the 360 bridge.
And it's going to be a little village that they have built there on the property. There are going to be some awesome guests that are going to be coming, so you're going to have lots of fun.
Indeed,
Yes.
all of those things are true. In addition, so for you Ultima Online fans, you Ultima fans out there, last year's event, Legends of the Hearth, we appropriated Castleton, which is Richard's property, and turned it into the village of Cove. Because conveniently up the hill was Stonegate, and I needed access to Lock Lake for some of the quests that we did. This year, I am appropriating Castleton and turning it into Buccaneer's Den, so expect all kinds of wonderful debauchery to go along with that.
So we're going to go out and PK everybody that we see.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of there's going to be pirates and
Pirates and winches?
drinking and exactly.
Okay. Sounds even better. Winches.
I like the sound of winches. I don't know about you.
The sound of wenches is kind of like
Now, I understand that Casey and Jack, you guys also have another announcement coming up this week.
you guys having a baby?
Yes, we are. On Thursday, we are going to be going up to the Portalarium offices and decorating about 1 o'clock. And if you are in the Austin area and you would like to help decorate the Portalarium offices for the holidays, not specific religious holidays, all holidays, feel free to get in contact with us. There is a post that Casey created on the official forums, so it is all there.
Please get in contact with me beforehand, though, because it is lockdown day, and it's going to be a pretty big issue that we are going there that day. So please.
Yes, the week before is lockdown. That is absolutely correct. Tell us why you guys are going down to do Portalariums decorating, and what's behind this and the motive.
Well, so, Casey, do you want to answer this?
I can. We are going to be throwing a Christmas party for Portalarium that backers can actually come to. I would like for everyone to RSVP for that so we can kind of figure out how much food we're going to need, how many people they're going to be. You will be able to, if you do come and you have children, if you have to bring your kids, we're going to try to create events for them as well. On January 11th, we're going to be holding the party. We're going to hold it about that late so that it'll give everybody more time to arrive there, as well as we'll be able to have Richard Garriott himself attend. We're doing it because Portalarium and the game Shroud of the Avatar are backed with our funds, and they feel that they would be better using those funds for the game than decorating and throwing a party for themselves. So that's why we are going to do it.
Now, when I first heard this, I was floored. I don't think anybody would get them a holiday party, but the fact that the community is standing up and that our backers' money on as much as a holiday party, just really just showed me the level of dedication, what they do with our money. What really kills me and I love is that the fact that you guys are stepping up and the community is going to get involved and they're going to get the party, they're going to get their decorations, and they're going to get to continue to work right on through it.
Absolutely.
As much as we would like them to be able to take a little time off to, you guys are going to be doing most of that stuff while they're continuing just to do the daily grind. And we do appreciate it, folks. We do appreciate the community's effort. We do appreciate their effort for not wanting to, again, these people think about stuff we don't think about. I don't know. What's the opinion of you guys here in the room? Disappointed or had anything to say if they had thrown a small office party with the funds?
Well, I think we're in consensus that they should be able to have some sort of fun like that for the holidays, so we wouldn't hold it against them if they threw something small or even just decorated. But we are more than happy to do it for them so that they can have it, and it shows,
Absolutely.
like you said, an amount of dedication to the game and to the backers. So.
Absolutely. That's going on Thursday. So these folks are going down there. There is a post on the forums, as Jack just said. Casey's got a post going on there. And by all means, if you're in the area, go ahead and contact these guys. Get in touch. Go visit the folks down there. Help out. What the community is all about.
Yeah, just feel free to message me in the forums, KACEY, and then look for a post coming soon about the holiday party itself.
Now, I got to ask Rustic. Rustic, I know we're talking about Hoblaw 3 coming up here. Has any of the couple of confirmed guests, because I have the guest list in front of me, any of the questing items or doing any of that yet? Have you seen any of that coming in yet from the early entries?
That's a great question. So the answer is yes and no. And the reason that it's no is because I'm still working on the code to get that to work. I'm hoping to have the code to add quests done by the end of December. It's pretty complex. So when you submit a quest or an activity, you're going to enter details, the name of the quest, the starting location, the short description, the long description. You can say how many players that you can accommodate. So you can say, this quest won't run if I don't have at least 5 people, but I can only support 20 people. So you can set a minimum and a maximum. You can say what classes and professions that the quest is geared for. You say how long the quest will be. You can set prerequisite quests. So you can actually have a quest that is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you actually have to do a prerequisite, or you can say this is part of a set. You can say I want 5 or 6 people. I need 5 or 6 people to volunteer to be NPCs, and you'll be able to see when you create a quest. If my quest is on Thursday, I'll be able to see a list of attendees that are going to be there on Thursday who are claiming to volunteer to be NPCs. And likewise, when you log in, you'll be able to say, this quest looks cool, and check it and say that you're going to go to it. And then the person running the quest will see your name as someone going to their quest, and you'll be able to go and check off all the quests you want to go to, and so all the information is going to be shared back and forth, so that's quite a fairly complex thing to program, and I'm in the midst of that right now. So that's why it's no, but it's also yes, because during the interviews I ask people, hey, what kind of quest are you thinking about? And I ask people during the registration process, if you have any ideas for quests, go ahead and tell me, in a couple sentences what they are so we can talk about them. And so I read those before the interview, and I think of ways to help make them, to leverage the venue. to, hey, that's a really great idea. Have you considered this? Did you know that so-and-so is going to be doing something like that? I try to give people tips to try to make the quests and activities as best as possible for everybody. So yes, because of that. No, because I'm still working on the coding of that.
Gotcha. Now the website does look fantastic. I know you were down to the wire getting the guests registration open in November.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. I would have had it up a little bit sooner had I not totaled my car.
Yes. We're glad you're safe.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm safe too. But I tell you, living in Austin proper is great when you don't have a car because you can bike. But living in Round Rock, which is a northern suburb of Austin, you need a car. And if it wasn't for Casey, I probably would have run out of groceries by now. So I definitely want to publicly thank Casey for hauling my ass around to do a little shopping recently.
Oh, there you go. And of course, he'll keep you in cupcakes, so you'll never starve that way.
And that's hilarious that you mentioned that. And I told you, I'm just glad to get out of the freaking house and deal with anybody. So yeah, I'll take you. But I went down to Portalarium and I brought them something, and I have to bring the customary cupcakes, but I didn't bake anything last night, so I brought them some cupcake vineyard wine.
That's pretty cool.
That's creative. Now, speaking of which, did I mention I found sugar in the game?
No, where'd you find sugar?
Hanging out every day.
I don't know, but I have it on. I believe I have it in my inventory. Hold on.
I thought you were talking about me, sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you, man, but This is so Jack can show it to the folks.
Okay. So yes, sugar is in game. So we've already got salt. We've got sugar, salt. We need some flour, and what are we going to do for the icing?
I don't know.
Eggs. Oh yeah, we also need eggs.
I think do chickens give? No, well, I don't know. I have to look.
Nuts.
Game. I don't know.
What kind of nuts do you want? Pecans?
Chocolate salty.
I'll take pecans, I'll take walnuts.
Chocolate salty nuts.
I'll take 10 nuts. Someone out there gets that.
Yeah.
Well,
These
Portalarium
nuts.
approved my breakfast balls. Chris was describing my balls in detail. How they were, so.
Ooh!
Not so salty breakfast balls.
Was he slobbering all over them?
You had at least two.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not going there. I like this too much.
So what else do we need to talk about today?
I don't want him to stop talking to us.
Yeah, that's why I didn't make a post about it. I figured he's picked on enough.
Before we derail the train on chocolate non-too salty balls. Hey, Jack, thanks for meeting. That's something we need to talk about. A challenge has been put forth.
Yes.
Put somebody to actually nail down the weather system and figure it out.
Now, there is a constellation in the sky. I read one of those links to the constellation threads that you posted to me, and there is a raindrop or teardrop constellation shape out there. And one of the theories is that any time one of the planets passes through that tier, that it rains in game. Yes. Now, I don't know exactly where this constellation is, and since it is raining right now, I cannot look to see where it is and see whether or not there's a planet going through it, since it is heavy precipitation with heavy winds right now. But there is some math behind weather in-game as well as the celestial system. It does need to be documented, and from there we need to find out when things are going to be in total alignment and kind of guess what is going to happen.
Now, there's speculation, and again, this is through one of the threads I read, that the weather system, based upon the old UO system. And how true that is, I do not know. I haven't been able to see any other information to verify or not verify that, but that is one of the other speculations. That we are in the same planetary system, so that the planetary alignments or all that stuff doesn't seem to jive well with me, because Richard keeps telling us about naming the planets.
Yeah, and he wanted to name them after the anti-virtues. So I know that much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had a mean brainstorm, and I'm not going to say it here right now.
Yeah. But I was going to say this, but remember the shattered moon was also supposed to be the remnants in some of the early myth stuff, it was Tremel and Feluca colliding.
Correct. And that is our understanding.
So if that's the case, that does put it squarely in the UO universe.
Yes. Okay. Good points. Okay, I'm gonna say it. An alternate universe, a chaotic universe.
Yes.
Yet an alternate reality of Britannia. Whole lot can be delved into on that theory.
Well, according to Blade of the Avatar, there's a legend that was being read by the lore mistress talking about Lord Binish. I think it was. It wasn't Lord British. It was like a bastardification, which is a word I just invented, of Lord British. There was a legend where he was swinging his sword at someone and missed and shattered the moon. That was one of the bits of lore from Blade of the Avatar.
And the similarity of the name Binish instead of British.
Yeah, the bastardization.
Yes.
So a corruption.
A corrupt universe, a chaotic universe. Okay.
A corrupt universe where you can pay off the head of the guards. Oh wait, wrong type of corruption.
I don't know. Those guys down in the clink look a little shady to me. I don't know about you, but every time I go down.
Well, Finn will fix the lighting. They'll look a little less shady.
They'll double up on the lighting in there.
Every time I go in the clink, I'm like, man, it's dark in here.
Well, I still want to know what's the impetus for the three different phases of the jail. No riot, and post riot.
Just depends on when I get my cupcakes.
Yeah, so it's like we need to investigate what's the cause of the prisoners' riot.
When that ticks, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna go down and get the most booty out of it.
I'm really trying to think of a good quiet riot joke. I just can't. Nothing's coming to mind.
Come on, feel the noise.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. That's not a funny joke.
No, it's not.
Alrighty, well, it's my understanding that you guys are gonna have to get on the move here shortly.
Indeed, I think we've got some things to get out of the attic. But also, I've got interviews starting up at 2 o'clock, so I need to get home and prep for that. I realized recently that, I schedule 30 minutes for every interview and an hour if it's going to be a couples interview. And we always go, we take the full amount of time. And I realized that's 50 hours of interviews if 100 people go. What have I gotten myself into?
It's a job. It's a very poorly paying job.
Would have had with these people otherwise. You can look at it that way.
Well, I think it's worth it. As I mentioned the other day, a big part of the interview is to make sure that the new people, know what I look like. They feel comfortable getting their questions answered. They feel really welcome, and they feel like they're part of the community before they even show up lost at the event. And so I think the interviews, even though it's going to be, thankfully I can approve people that have been before without having an interview. because I've already interviewed them in the past. But, even if it did take 50 hours to vet everybody for this event, it's worth it. I feel like the interview is a really important process to make everybody feel welcome and make sure that they're comfortable and happy and on the same page and get to ask questions.
Absolutely. Again, you get to meet these people, and it's a really great way to look at it. They have a face that they're familiar with when they walk up onto the property. Around, they're going to be seeing a bunch of unfamiliar faces, and of course, when you see a face in a crowd, I know. I always go, oh, I'm a little bit more relaxed because that means I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's exactly right.
You don't look
I've
exactly like
arrived
your
at my
avatar?
destination. I see a familiar face. I'm in the right place. Okay, good. Show me where the beer is.
Have you guys seen the 1985, maybe it was 1986, movie with Val Kilmer called Real Genius?
I love that movie.
Right. So there's this great scene where the main character goes into his, like, this weird guy walks into his room in his college dorm, walks into the closet and disappears. And there's a couple scenes where he goes into the closet to try to figure out where the hell this guy goes. And the time that he finally figures it out, the secret door opens and there's a sign, and it says, "This is it." And I have used that sign at almost every event I've thrown since 2002 to let people know that they're at the right place. So, on my front door it says, "This is it." There's always a "This is it" sign at every event I ever have.
Yeah, very interesting.
Guess it's better than walking into a small door and coming and being John Malkovich.
Or a sign that says, "This is not it."
Nope.
Alright, we're gonna duck out of here so we can get ready.
Okay.
Great being on again, guys.
Thank you, Rustic. Thank you, Casey. And don't forget, we love you guys.
I love you, baby.
I love you too. Okay, so we've got about 7 minutes left. I think it's a good time to do the calendar.
I am one of those interviews this afternoon, so I'm looking forward to talking to
Oh,
Rick
yeah.
here in a little while.
So during your interview, remember it's a requirement that you must lick your nipple.
And I may just happen to do that inadvertently on the camera. I don't know if I can reach it. John Silverfoot sitting there watching us, saying good show. Thank you for joining us today, Sean.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. We're glad that Casey and Rustic Dragon could join us today. We do have the calendar coming up in just a minute or two, but any other news that we really need to get out there about what's going on in game right now?
A lot. Again, we're
You know what? We forgot to discuss the Release 24, Release 25 decoration contest from Dr. Shroud.
Was that? Oh, we didn't do also the statues, the creatures, and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
We can show those tomorrow.
those are $20 each.
4, 25, oh yeah.
Decoration contest? Yes. So this is a contest hosted by Dr. Shroud. It does have $20 store credit for first place, $10 store credit for second place, and $5 for third. So win some real life money. This should be actually kind of cool. And there will be a mystery prize thrown in there somewhere. The rules are all on there. And so there is a link off of the weekly update for update 154, update of the avatar. So make sure and follow that out. But we do have our calendar. Remember, if you go to nbnn.info and you click on the button that says calendar, it will take you straight to the calendar provided by Avatar Circle. This is a Google Calendar, so remember all times are New Britannia time, which is Central Standard Time for those of us in the real world. You have what?
Sean just came back, and he says he's got an event coming up Saturday, December 19th, 2 to 4, the Pack Slayer Holiday Party.
Oh.
Tomorrow, a block drive.
Yeah, I need to show that so that way we get that on screen.
This is it's on the calendar and posting it in forums to come. Okay, cool. And we read the calendar every day, so
Yeah.
we cover all the events for the weekends. And another event coming up or about gathering on the 13th, and we'll cover that a little bit more in depth tomorrow. But with that, let's get the calendar going here, Jack.
Okay, for the calendar, today, remember, is December 7th. Monday's generally relatively slow, so not a lot of events, but between 4 and 6, listen to Avatars Radio with DJ Eclipse Maiden. Between 6 and 8 p.m., you can listen to Dr. DJ Selly with Faster and Louder. And while you're listening to Faster and Louder, always go to Braemar and join in on the no-host event of the dungeon run of Chilblain's Compendium of Pain and Suffering. At 8 p.m., the Tavern Respite is having a role-playing event with Elgarian Dakali, so that is the Bear Tavern. So go out there and roleplay in a pub. At 10 p.m., the legendary... Yeah, roleplay your heart out. At 10 p.m., we have the legendary Neurotoxin doing his weekly stream. He is on the Who's Gaming Now Twitch channel, and he is giving away $20 Shroud of the Avatar store add-on store credit. So watch, listen, follow, enjoy yourself. That is all the events in Shroud of the Avatar for Monday, December 7th. We look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow, and we appreciate everybody for following, watching, listening, paying attention in-game, out-of-game, wherever you are. We love you.
We love you all. We love our viewers. We love our listeners. Don't forget to listen to WRFB, Radio Free Britannia. Yeah. Us here and .info. If you want to talk to us, you want to chat with us, you can always join us here in studio, in-game, here in Owl's Head, or just go to nbnn.info, click on the big red link that says join us in TeamSpeak. Come on in and chat with us. That's what we're here for. If you got something in the community you want to talk about, by all means, come talk to us. That's what we are here for. If you've got some dirt, you got some low down, you got a party, come talk to us. You got a town, you got a shop, come talk to us. Tell us about it. But that'll be it for us today. Jack, got anything else before I take us out of here?
Nope. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for follows. Thank you for your support.
Don't forget the shop shroudmarketplace.com. Shameless self-promotion.
Yep.
Time for December 7th. It's Pearl Harbor Day for all you vets out there. And for all those of you who remember, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned to NBNN for more news, sports, information, entertainment, crazy, wild happenings, and anything else that we can think of. See you tomorrow, folks. Thanks for watching.
I love you. Bye, baby.